Work, Responsibility, and the Natural World by George Gil. This whole line of thought is really about taking responsibility step by step, from big ideas about society down to very concrete duties in everyday life. It starts with attitude. The point is not to be overly pessimistic about the world. Yes, there are real problems and unfairness, but it is not helpful to describe everything as nothing but oppression. That kind of all-or-nothing view can make people feel powerless instead of motivated to improve things. A more balanced approach says, there are issues, but there is also room for action and change. Everyday life in organizations. Most places where people work or gather have flaws. Maybe the culture is a bit toxic. Maybe some policies are unfair, or maybe people are rewarded for the wrong things. Instead of treating organizations as hopeless, the idea is to look closely at how they actually run, how decisions get made, how people are treated, and where responsibility really sits. At this point, personal responsibility comes in. The thought is simple but demanding. A little more honesty and a little more hard work from each person can actually straighten things out, even if only a bit. That means being willing to look at your own role in the problems around you. It might mean speaking up when something is wrong, improving how you do your job, helping others, or refusing to go along with patterns that you know are unhealthy. Alone, each action seems small, but they add up. That leads naturally to the idea of consequences over time. Even modest changes in how someone behaves can ripple outward. One honest conversation can shift the mood of a team. A better habit today might slowly reshape how a whole group works over months or years. The thought here is that you do not always see the full impact of what you are doing now, but that doesn't mean the impact isn't real or important. From the world of organizations, attention widens to what you might call the natural worries of life. These are the things nearly everyone thinks about: the future, safety, money, health, and whether their family will be okay. These worries are not just in someone's head. They come from real risks and uncertainties. Jobs can be lost, accidents can happen, and circumstances can change suddenly. The message is that these worries should be faced, not ignored, and that part of a good life is dealing with them as responsibly as possible. Then come some very concrete responsibilities. First, disease. Illness, whether it spreads quickly or creeps in slowly, is one of the basic threats humans always face. Conquering disease means a lot of different things: supporting science and medicine, building good health systems, and also doing everyday things like caring for sick people, getting preventive care, and respecting public health measures. It is a shared task that runs from big institutions down to individual habits. Next, there are children to care for. Children are both very fragile and full of potential. In the short term, they need basics: food, sleep, safety, and affection. Over time, they also need guidance, help learning skills, forming character, and understanding how to handle the challenges they will face. The quality of tomorrow's society depends a lot on how children are raised today, so this responsibility is not just private, it has a wider impact. Food is another fundamental piece. On one level, it is about the big systems that grow, move, and distribute what people eat. On another level, it is about everyday life, making sure there is enough to eat, planning, shopping, cooking, and managing money. Without stable access to food, people cannot focus on anything beyond getting through the day. So providing food is both a practical task and a moral one, because it supports everything else people hope to do. All of these responsibilities connect to a larger project: taming and regulating the natural world. Left on its own, nature can be harsh. Storms, droughts, earthquakes, and simple scarcity all remind us how vulnerable we are. Humans respond by trying to understand nature and build systems that make life safer and more stable. That looks like houses that keep out the weather, clean water systems, reliable power, and transportation networks. At the same time, there is a warning here. If people only try to control nature without thinking ahead, they can end up damaging the very environment they depend on. So the goal is not total domination, but wise management and care. Running through all of this is a simple through line. What you do, even in small ways, matters over time. A bit more honesty at work, steady care for children, attention to health, making sure people are fed, and treating nature with respect. None of these actions are dramatic on their own. But together, over years, they shape the world that future people will live in. The picture is not of a perfect world or a doomed one, but of a difficult world that remains open to improvement through steady, responsible effort.